Steven Gerrard explains reason he didn't take Rangers' job. Danilo, once frozen out and almost shown the exit, has flipped the script under Danny Rohl with a transfer U-turn nobody saw coming. Todd Cantwell's popped up again with a bizarre message that's got Rangers fans talking for all the wrong reasons. And we break down exactly what Rohl's quiet revolution could mean for the season ahead. This video was made before the game against Celtic. There's a lot of important stuff here, so I kept it separate. I'll bring you the full match analysis tomorrow. Well, here's one for you. Just when some thought Danilo's bags were practically packed and ready, the strikers flipped the script at Ibrox. Under Russell Martin, Danilo was frozen out, criticized left and right, and looked every bit like a man on his way out. Rumors swirled about a January exit, and you'd have bet your granny's crystal he was finished in a Rangers shirt. But step forward, Danny Rohl. Since taking the reins, the transformation's been visible, not just in results, but in the attitude of the squad. A 3-0 blip in Europe against Brann. Disappointing, but back-to-back league wins over Kilmarnock and Hibs, with Danilo on the score sheet in both, have breathed life back into the big man's season. And maybe his Ibrox career too. From bombed out to banging them in, 2 goals in 2 games, including a winner against Hibs, and now the chat is that Rohl's shutting the exit door. No January departure, no fire sale. Danilo's in the plans. With Rangers' spending power in January expected to be limited thanks to the heavy summer backing of Martin, the timing couldn't be better. Danilo's under contract until 2028, and with Rohl wiping the slate clean, he's got the perfect chance to cement his place. Add in Bojan Miovski's presence and the rumors of Raskin heading for the door, and it feels like the squad's being reshaped from within rather than from the market. Now here's where it gets tasty. Danilo's sudden rise has cooled Rangers' interest in striker targets for January, and is that brave management or risky hesitation? If Danilo had a stinker next week and Mr. Sitter in the derby, would you still be happy the club held off on signing another forward in January? Or is this another case of Rangers gambling when we should be strengthening? Well now, here's a name you thought was done and dusted. Todd Cantwell, a man who strutted into Ibrox with all the flair in the world, a few fancy flicks, and just as many question marks about what he was actually bringing to the shirt. Now plying his trade at Blackburn Rovers after his exit in August, he popped up online again, wishing James Tavernier a happy birthday. Only problem, he got the date wrong, sent the message a full day late, and Rangers supporters were right on it. To be fair, the first post was harmless enough. Happy birthday, main man, with a nod to his old captain. But then came the follow-up post, him getting booked with Tav watching on, captioned, "My skip," and then the late realization post, "I meant to put belated for all you hammering me," with a wee laughing emoji. Bit of tongue-in-cheek, maybe, but you can still smell the sting, can't you? Let's not forget, Cantwell's time at Ibrox ended under a cloud. 2 transfer requests, training with the Bairns, and him and Philippe Clement clearly not on the same page. 64 appearances, 14 goals, 12 assists, flashes of talent, but plenty of drama too. And even now, he's trying to rewrite the story a little, claiming his exit was twisted in the goldfish bowl that is Ibrox. He says he loved the club, says it was personal, says he didn't refuse to play, but there's a lot of talking for someone who walked away when the going got tough. There's no shame in not fitting into a system, but own it. Don't sugarcoat it with sentimental quotes and birthday messages after the fact. Let's be honest, you've seen players leave Ibrox with dignity, and you've seen the ones who just can't stop peeking back over their shoulder. Was Cantwell genuinely misunderstood at Rangers, or is he just another player who couldn't handle the weight of that badge on his chest? Football's a mad old game, isn't it? One minute, you're looking at a squad that couldn't string 2 passes together without breaking into chaos. The next you're watching Rangers go to Easter Road and look like a side with a plan. No fireworks, no flowing samba stuff, but discipline, hunger, and a bit of heart. It's not a renaissance yet, but you can feel a pulse again. Enter Danny Rohl, quiet, measured, no hype, no excuses, just straight in the door, straight into the fire with that European embarrassment against Brann, and instead of flapping, he rolled his sleeves up and got to work, tweaked the shape, tightened the back line, and suddenly, Rangers didn't look like a punch-drunk mess anymore. 2 wins, Kilmarnock and Hibs. Results we should be expecting, but let's not kid ourselves. Even those have felt like major tasks lately. The difference now? Organization. You can see it in the team shape, in the pressing, even in the body language. Look at Jack Butland screaming his lungs out after saving a pen. Look at Chermity running like his boots are on fire. Giga, Barron, Cornelius, Magoma, none of them perfect, but none of them hiding either. That's the minimum. Fight for the badge, but it's mad that we're even having to praise it. It should be a given. Still, don't get carried away. How many times have you dared to believe only to be booted in the guts by the same mistakes, the same weak mentality, the same bottling on the big day? That's what Sunday's all about. This old firm isn't just about points. It's about proving that this group can finally change. Celtic are there for the taking. Wounded, inconsistent, stuttering, but they know how to win ugly. They know how to scrape it when it matters. That's the difference. That's the gap. Roll's here to close. The Hibs game showed a glimmer, grit, control, and a decisive moment taken.
No, the timing wasn't right from a family point of view, but of course, you have to do your due diligence into certain things.
Well then, let's talk about the return that nearly was. Steven Gerrard has finally broken his silence on why he didn't come back to Ibrox, and let me tell you, his words will have you both nodding in respect and wondering what might have been. Speaking to TNT Sports, Gerrard admitted, in terms of Rangers, very close. That's not speculation. That's straight from the man himself. He flew into London, sat down with the owners, and for a moment, it looked like the prodigal boss might walk back through those Ibrox doors. I had some really positive and interesting talks with the owners, he said, but it felt a bit rushed. I had a lot to think about and a short space of time to make a decision. Now, let's be honest, you can feel the pull in his voice. This wasn't a man brushing the opportunity aside. He spoke about timing, about family still being based in Bahrain, and about not wanting to jump in unless he was, in his own words, 100% ready. There were a few things I was uncertain about, and if I'm going to take a challenge that big and that important, I've got that affection and connection with Rangers. For me to take that on again, it had to be perfect. It's clear he wanted it. My heart was 100% there because I have the connection with the club. But his head said no, and in modern football, that's a rare honesty you've got to respect. He was also asked if the new structure at Rangers with a head coach model had put him off, and while he didn't shoot it down directly, he said the timing wasn't right from a family point of view and added, you have to do your due diligence. I have to analyze, is it right for me? Is the timing right? And are things perfect for me to be the best version of myself in that job? And here's the bit that hits you. I've got that much respect for Rangers that I wouldn't go in there if I was 80-90% ready. Now listen, that's the mark of a man who gets it. Gerrard doesn't want to use Ibrox as a vanity project or a career patch-up job. He wants it when it's right for him and for you. And he's left the door wide open. Hopefully, Danilo, I need to. One day, I'll be more ready and more prepared for it, and that chance might come again. If Gerrard wasn't 100% ready now, does that make him a man of principle who respects the badge too much to get it wrong? Or should he have come home anyway, flaws and all, because Ibrox doesn't wait for perfect? Drop your thoughts in the comments, leave a like to support, and if you're not subscribed, you're missing the Daily Rangers Buzz. Catch you soon!